Hi everybody, it's Judy. It's week 2 and things have been moving around in Evansville lately. I have 2 stories from St. John to tell you. One is particularly for Dorcia. Man, they say great minds work alike, and makes me feel wonderful to know that my mind was working on the same plane as yours for once. I too held a baptism renewal service at St. John this week to celebrate Christ's baptism, and got basically the same reaction that you did. But it just really tickled me when I read your post, and I thought, Dorcia, I did that too. That is so cool. The other thing I learned about the congregation at St. John's, the week before we did communion, and St. John's, being a historically African American church, has some a little bit different routines as part of the communion ritual. The helpers all wear white lab coats. We all have to put on white gloves before we touch the elements. But all of the people who normally serve communion were not at church on the 4th. So while the choir was singing, I ran and got a chalice, filled it, cleaned it out really good, filled it with grape juice, and then taught the congregation how to do communion by intinction. They had never heard of it before. We're game to try it. I love them all because they let me try different things on them. They're great guinea pigs, and they're all very good spirited about it. But I had several people come up to me afterwards and say, Pastor, please don't make us do that again. There was something about taking the bread and sticking your hand in the cup to get it in the grape juice. No. They'll pick the bread off. That's not a problem. But the individual glasses of juice are definitely the way to go at St. John's. So I just thought that was funny, and they were so sweet about it, though, because nobody refused to do communion, but please don't make us do that again. The other thing that we've got going on right now out at the Turning Point, which is where my internship really is we've moved to a new administrative council design. We have one super council that takes in the trustees, the finance committee, the pastor parish committee. So instead of having 4 meetings a month, we have 1. And there's 12 people on the committee, and they are charged with the pretty much day-to-day normal routine administrative duties of the council. And as we have work projects or special things that we need to do, we're going to start work groups and pull in people from the rest of the congregation into as a little advisory committee to this council. So it's a different way of doing things. It's been tried before in Indiana, although I don't think it's been tried down here in southern Indiana before. But it's going to be interesting to watch and see how this all plays out and how it all works together. It's different for me. It's a whole new way of thinking, but I'm trying to wrap my head around it as we go along. The last thing I wanted to share with you was something that I found in my readings for medieval mysticism this week. I know that none of the rest of you are taking this class, and we're talking about Bernard, and his last name is Chavois or Clarat, or it's something French. I'm just terrible with names. But he's talking about love, and in his book he states that Paul didn't preach to eat. Paul ate to preach. And it's such a simple way of saying, with our calling, we have to preach, we have to share the gospel. It's not just your everyday career that brings benefits and salary and working conditions into play, but it's a whole different approach to what you do for a living. So with that, have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye.